Good start at night, isn't it? Right, good evening, everybody. Right, for those who just tuned in, welcome to the madness. Right, tonight, something different again. I was talking about America last night, and the good things about America. And I thought to myself, well, that's all right, but I don't say much about this country over here, about the United Kingdom. Now, the United Kingdom is made up of, obviously, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. So there's lots of accents here. And you're probably listening to me and say, well, he's got a little bit of an accent as well. Yeah, I've got a bit of a mixed up accent, but my father and that side of the family have a very strong accent, and that is a Northumbrian accent. Some people may have heard little words now and again when I say it. Now, the interesting thing with the Northumbrian accent is that historically it's not that old. Now, the people up north will probably go, yes, it is. It's actually not. It's actually a mix of languages from quite recent times. It actually comes from when the Dutch army were actually based in and around the borders of Scotland. This was Newcastle and places like Hexham and things like this. And some of their words got incorporated into the English language with us while they were living here. And so it evolved into this accent, which is what people refer to commonly as the Geordie accent. But it's not Geordie because people get on my case if I say it's all Geordie. It's not. There's about 4 different accents going. The most northern is Northumbrian, the Northumbrian accent. And then you're going down to Newcastle area, which is the Geordie accent. We go down to Sunderland, which is the Mackhams. So, and then we carry on going all the way down. We go down a bit more, just before North Yorkshire, into what we call the monkey hangers. So there's four different things. The last one was Hartlepool, by the way. So I'll explain why I just said that word. Okay, Hartlepool not the Victorians, when we were at war with the French. This is the time of 1812, Battle of Waterloo and that time period. A French sloop was sunk just off the coast of Hartlepool, and the only survivor was actually the captain's pet monkey. So had a little suit on it. Now, the locals rescued the monkey, and not knowing any better, as you would, you've got to remember this time, 200 years ago, people never really went more than 5 miles from where they were born in their entire life. They thought it was a Frenchman, and we were at war with the French, and he wouldn't answer the questions. So they proceeded to tie the little monkey's hands behind his back and hang him as a Frenchman. So that was hence that sort of like little bit of a leg pulling joke has been with them ever since. So right, getting back to my original subject. Right, so when you're in Northumbria, you're going to come across different words. And if you're from the States and everything, it's going to be complex. It's going to be very complex. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples because it's only a quick couple of minutes just to cheer you up, right? So if I was going to my auntie's and I'd walk in the house, now, Northern families are very friendly. You just knock on the door, walk in. So you knock on the door and then you walk in. I'm going to have to repeat some things because I'm not sure if it comes out clear. Right. So you walk in the house, and the first words that you're going to say is ho, yin. Those 2 words, very important. Ho. How is hello, how are you? And in is whereabouts in the house are you? And you would get the reply, howie, we're in here. So, which means come forward, we are actually in the kitchen. Normally it's the kitchen. So that's the one you're going to get used to. The first one is ho, yin. Most people will be chuckling that, say, he's right there. Now, some words we use are, I'm going to say probably Scottish dialect in the end, like aye, Hawaii, you got to know there, you got to know tune. But there is other words that aren't. So, and I've got one of the famous examples of myths and legends from the north and the northeast, and this happened regularly, and it still does on a Friday night. Normally it's a Friday night anyway, and all the men used to work down the pit. Used to work collieries. So, and your father would come home. So, and he'd put his feet up, and the kids would have the dinner. So kids are called bayins, by the way, and then as they get bigger, they turn from a bayin into a pet. So, and then about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, you get a knock on the door, and this is this famous character from the northeast, and everybody would know him. Absolutely everybody would know this guy, and his name was Shane. Yeah, and his second name was Tin. So they used to wait until he knocked on the door, and then the father and the mother would go into the back garden, or they'd lock the door, and they'd send one of the kids to the door, and the kids would open the door and they'd say, "Hello, mister," in their accent. "Oh, hey, right?" And the man would get out a big ledger book, and he'd go, "Oi, son, is your mother in?" And he'd look at him and he'd go, "Nah, shan't in." So, and that's, sorry to say that, but it chuckles me to this day, because my uncles always used to say about this famous character, Shentin. Everybody knows him, so especially the kids. So, and it actually means, no, she's not in today. It was the rent collector. For those who didn't understand the joke, I thought I'd just clear them up with that one. Right, so you'd have things like this thrown at you all the time. And then if you, obviously, Geordies are they're very popular with the ladies. Everyone loves a good Geordie accent. And Northumbrian accents. The ladies love the northeast accent, and they would say strange things that you would puzzle. Like, one of the most famous ones is tap. "Oh, I'm going to tap that, which actually means that's a very attractive lady over there, and I think I'll take her out for a date. So, and that's the equivalent. So, if you want to use that at any time, you're all right. Yeah. So that's I'm going to tap that. So another thing is tabs. If you're going for a tab, it means you're going for a tobacco, a cigarette. So there you go. That's a couple of easy ones for you to remember there. And then one of the most famous lines you're ever going to come across is actually not from the northeast. It's actually from Liverpool, from my friends the Scousers. And their most famous is "de-do-do, don't-de-do." So, and yes, that is correct pronunciation. They do say, yeah, they do, don't they do? Instead of saying, yes, they do. It goes on a little bit more than it should have. Right, so I thought I'd entertain you for a couple of minutes. I haven't forgot about my friends. I keep pestering them. One of them is going to come on. Whether they like it or not, I'll have to gag and tie them and get them on here. They're all a bit afraid at camera. Right, take it easy. Hope you have a lovely night. Special mention to Choc. Have a cracker. Right, night. Ta-da. God bless.